Space Marine!
Howdy folks, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am your host, the Mighty Bjorn, and today for you, if you couldn't tell from the introduction, I have a mighty game review of Warhammer 40k Space Marine. Going to talk a little bit about the game here. Let's start off with the developers, Relic Entertainment. The publisher is THQ and Sega. However, that being said, even though this game was moderately successful, unfortunately it was not enough to prevent THQ from closing down its doors. That being said, THQ Nordic is still around and it is a part of THQ. I don't know the whole spiel. Not going to dig into it, but yeah, the original THQ, the publishers that made this, that was the publisher for this game, as well as there was the Raw versus SmackDown games and the Warhammer 40,000 Dawn of War games. Just this was not successful enough to prevent them from shutting down their doors. It was released in September of 2011 on Windows PC, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360. Now myself, I actually had this for years on the PS3 and only recently got it again for the PC because I just kind of packed up my PS3 and stashed away because I wasn't playing it anymore because PC Master Race. I'm going to primarily focus on talking about the co-op, or sorry, the single-player campaign, and there's a schmeal to that. Is basically from what I can tell, the online servers are no longer operational. I might be mistaken, but I've tried multiple times now to find games in both PvP and the co-op modes, and it has gone to being unsuccessful every time. I'm kind of curious. I suspect you could do private matches, but I don't know. And if anyone watching this video does know, please comment down below. Let me know. I would definitely be interested in possibly doing some online PvP as well as PvE in this game. I used to play the Exterminatus mode. Oh my god, all the time. It was one of my favorite modes of the game. But we're going to dive on in here, talk more about the game. Now, to start off with, you are playing the part of Captain Titus, who is voiced by Mark Strong. Yes, the infamous Mark Strong, who just takes the 100% pure testosterone in this game and crank it up to 11. You're playing the part of a Smurf from the Ultramarines, hence is the blueberry armor. And you are stopping an orc invasion of a planet. Basically, you're protecting a manufactorium.
Greenskins!
Yeah, those greenskins. And basically, you're just running around killing orcs. Lots and lots and lots of orcs. Basically, for 2/3 of the game, you're doing nothing but killing orcs.
Death to the alien.
And basically, you're using multiple different types of weapons. There's the Vengeance Launcher, which kind of crosses, I don't know really how to put it, like a grenade launcher, mine launcher type deal. Basically, it fires command detonated darts. You got laser cannon, the melt-a-gun, bolter, bolt pistol, plasma weapons, laser cannons, and then just in the realm of melee alone, you get the chainsword, the combat knife, the thunder hammer, the power axe. So I mean, it really dives deep into the Warhammer 40k universe and how things work out. And then you get this big badass Space Marine armor, even though
faith is our shield,
which helps, you know, for the Emperor type stuff. And as you're rolling through, you're basically helping the Imperial Guard units take back the planet that they've been trying to hold out and haven't been able to hold out against the orcs. Excuse me there, I had to cough for a moment. And basically you're trying to defend the manufactorium and try to clear out the orcs the best you can with the small force that you have. Of course, because you're a Space Marine, you are the ultimate badass, so the orcs don't stand a chance. But as things roll out, you actually run into Inquisitor Drogon from the Inquisition. That's the wrong Inquisition. And then you find out about the psychic Scourge. You find out about the psychic Scourge, and you try to use it to basically kill off the orcs planet side. However, you were tricked by Chaos.
Heretics.
And you actually open up a warp web. You open up a warp gate actually on the planet side, and Chaos starts to invade the planet. Now, this is actually about 2/3 into the game, and that's where you start killing Chaos Marines left and right and having all kinds of fun. And the Chaos Marines are definitely the toughest enemy. It's a combination of Chaos Demons, Chaos Marines, and Chaos Renegades as well. And that's where you really start putting what you've learned throughout the game to the test. It is a fairly tough game, but it's manageable on normal. I've never tried to play this on hard, and I don't think I ever really want to, because basically the end of the game gets really ridiculous, especially when you get close to fighting the Chaos Warlord, if you will. So what I like about the game, and honestly looking back, even though this game came out in 2011, I think the graphics actually still look pretty damn good for a game from 2011. They look great to me. The armor looks amazing. There's paint chips in the armor. There's cuts and damage to the armor. It just looks really good. And it looks even better when you're doing the multiplayer and you can customize your armor, because some of the armor actually has different details and just all kinds of fanciness to it, as well as some of the armor actually has battle damage as well. So everything, to me, honestly looks great. The atmosphere looks amazing. It looks like something right out of like the Warhammer 40K modeling books on how to do terrain and things like that. The weapon sounds are pretty good. Just sounds in general are pretty good, actually. Even to this day, I mean, the bolters sound like what I imagine the bolters would sound like. The laser cannon sounds like a laser cannon. The melta gun sounds like a melta gun. And Thunder Hammer sounds like it's going to crush your skull and as soon as you hit something with it. So it's real good. Story's actually pretty good. Multiplayer-wise, too, it was pretty good. You had the options of playing PvP or co-op. Now, the only problems I really had in the game is the movement, especially when you're running. When you're trying to run and turn, it's really slow. Now, I know at this moment, Todd Howard would say it just works, and, well, it does just work. You know, it works, and as you become more aware of it and essentially more keen to the fact that the turning speed and running speed is not really the most amazing thing, it kind of works. Now, playing with controller can get a little bit wonky, but, I mean, that's just typical for trying to play video games with a controller over a keyboard and mouse. And honestly, I ended up opting to play with an Xbox controller over playing with the keyboard and mouse because, honestly, that's how I'm used to playing this game. I had it for years on PlayStation 3. I've played quite a bit of this game on PlayStation 3, and this was my first run-through with a on PC, so I just kind of went with what I know. Co-op online-wise, there is a bit of a problem, especially with balancing when you're brand new to the PvP. Understand that there's different unlockables, upgrades, cosmetics, and etc. that you can actually unlock by playing PvP. And some of the cosmetics you can unlock by playing co-op, but generally the bulk of your unlocks is going to be through PvP. And the problem is when you run into somebody that's actually got their character topped out and actually has their gear, they're just godlike compared to a new player. And it's not get good, it's just that the upgraded gear makes such a huge difference in the game. even in the co-op, because you can actually use the upgrades in the co-op mode as well. And even in the co-op mode, those upgrades make a huge difference on how things work in the game while you're playing your online experience. So that I think really diminishes the online experience, especially if you're a new player going up against experienced players. I did see some glitches there. It's mostly graphic glitches where enemies phase through walls or floors or whatever, and that's mostly through the glory kills, which is how you gain your health back. You do a glory kill after you stun the enemy. Now, one problem I have with the glory kills is as the glory kills are kind of long, and you can take damage as you're doing the glory kill. So it is kind of bit of a nuisance in itself, and it actually makes the game probably a bit tougher than it should. Of course, I want to say this was probably the pretty early days of glory kills being in video games for health, so I guess you could let that slide, but it is kind of one of those things I felt generally negative about. Other than that, there's really nothing else to talk about for the game. So the price tag, the game is on Steam for $30. That being said, even though I really like this game and it is a really good game, I can't recommend it for $30. And that's just the core game. To buy the collector's edition with all the DLCs like $50. Now the DLCs are basically for the online multiplayer only. It adds Chaos Unleashed, it adds Dreadnought Assault, and some other armors and things like that, cosmetic stuff. I really can't recommend any of that stuff because as far as I know of, you can't really play this game online anymore. And that's the same way with paying $30 for this game. I really can't recommend paying $30 for this game because basically all you have available is the single player campaign, or as far as I'm aware of. That being said, if you can grab this game for like 15, 20 bucks, I definitely recommend it. It is a really good game. It's a lot of fun. But anyway, folks, I'm going to wrap up my review of Space Marine at that. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and have yourself a wonderful day.